Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Worldhoppers, collaborative channel talking about all things fantasy and otherwise, where all of the proceeds and the merch sales go to charity. And we are here today to come back together to talk about the Green Bone Saga. We did a Jade Legacy kind of theories, what we think is going to happen chat a few months back. We are missing two people who participated because they were not able to read Jade Legacy just yet, but we have all read it and we have thoughts and feelings and emotions about it. So we wanted to chat. I'm curious because I don't know what everyone rated it.
5.
Or how you liked it, I guess, generally.
Easy 5.
See,
sorry, I've been going on mute because my cat's having the zoomies hard.
Oh,
I was like, is that Deshada or is that Angela?
Oh, it's my cat.
Somebody's cat is rare.
But no, it's solid 5-star. It even was good enough that it upgraded my rating for Jade War, which was normally a 4-star.
So I gave it 4.5.
Yeah, but for you, that's a 5 on anyone else's scale.
Yeah, it was just, for me, the pacing stuff, like, it's not like I thought it was bad or like she didn't do it well necessarily. I just didn't prefer it. Like, I kind of felt with these like huge time jumps that would happen. And then it's like, okay, we're in this time, action, stuff happening, people talking, blah, blah, blah. And then like, oh my God, crazy action. And then 7 years later. And I was like, I feel like I'm watching a movie and we're like skipping ahead. Like someone else has the controller and is just fast forwarding. And I'm like, wait, what? So
I was prepared for that from Jade War because that's what she did in Jade War all the time. And you loved that book.
Yeah, but
it was more aggressive in this. This is 20 years in one book.
This year time she at least told us in Jade War she didn't even tell us.
That is true. But it just bugged me more because it was like more time. And I think too, because I loved the like new generation so much, but I wanted to like get to know them more. And we didn't really get a chance. And I understand, like, I really just wish that this book had been, like, all just, like, following them, but, like, set up for, like, a continuation series following the younger generation. Like, I feel like that would have been cool, like, the last part of the book to have been following the younger generation. But, like, I get it. The whole point of the series was these siblings and their journey, so...
I do feel like, I mean, I gave it 5 stars, but I agree with the pacing thing that I did find it like it did jump at some point. So I'm like, this could have been a quartet in some ways. And we could have had this feel a bit less jumpy.
Yeah. I think that's what I would have preferred. Like I said, I still liked it. I didn't think it was bad or she like ruined the book or anything like that. But
it was you just deducted it that half a star.
Just the half a star where I was like, I wish we had like more.
It's so weird just because like that is my consistent complaint about Jade War is I hated how jumpy it was. And then when she did it even worse in Jade Legacy, it reminded me of Jade City, which was a more compact plot. So I don't know why. I like literally had no issues, but I think also, you know, I mean, we all knew this going in that it was going to be 20 some years. It's not like any of us were surprised. Like she told us, but I think I was just prepared. And after the first big time jump, I'm like, okay, so this is your structural format is we're going to have big events. Time's going to pass where apparently things like, I don't know. I just like decided to have buy-in, but I was also just so invested and I liked the younger generation. I liked that the focus really was on this one generation for the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
It makes it feel so nice.
Yeah. Like I said, it made sense. I just like, I think like Abby said, I wish I would have liked maybe if it had been a quartet where like, or like just a continuation was for sure happening where I could follow. Cause I just want to follow them more.
If you follow her,
like I just want more, so it's not 5 stars because I want more.
Yeah, and I think the way the pacing was is because, like you said, it would be like a big event happened, and then it was like skip ahead. Where that was like, I think that's just why for me personally, it was just like, okay, well, I kind of wish I'd gotten like a little bit more before we skipped ahead after this event, like just a touch, you know. Where a few times it pulled me out a little bit, but otherwise, I mean, it was a fun ride.
I read like 250 pages of it in one sitting, and I never do that because my reading speed is like 45 pages an hour. And I didn't read faster. I just sat down for longer.
That comes to a point where you can't stop reading it. Like, are we? This is spoilers, right? We can talk about.
Yeah, we're full spoilers here.
After Rue died, I was like,
that was it. I was just there.
Yeah, it was like from that point forward, I was binge reading after that.
That scene, I swear, because I was so hyped. I was nervous and like, ooh, I don't like this. And like, Barrow is being Barrow and he's here and I hate him. And this whole thing, the whole vibe of that scene felt just off from the get-go, obviously. And then like, when he started fighting and he's like, I offer you a I was like, hell yeah, Rue. And then he's like going, I'm like, oh my God, he's like kicking his ass. Like, this is so great. Oh my God. I was like so hyped. I was like, this is awesome. Heck yeah. He's like standing up. He's going to show Hilo. Like, I can do it. And then just out of nowhere, I was like,
it happened so quick.
I literally yelled. I was like, no.
I reread it. I wanted to make sure, is it actual death? Like, I reread it.
It happened so fast, and it was the bar pause. I paused. What's going on?
Yeah,
I feel like that's something that Fonda does. Like something will happen, and it'll be really abrupt. Like the same happened in book 1 with Lan. It was like
you're just like, wait,
okay,
huh? Wait, hold on.
wait just a minute.
Like, happy what?
Yeah. Oh, that scene. Oh man,
it was a rough scene, and it's not even that I loved Rue so much. It's that I immediately started thinking about the family. I was like,
yep.
Like, Hilo's gonna
freak out.
Man is gonna
in the bar. Everyone was like, oh shit, we just killed Hilo's son. What do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. The mountain guy was like, oh God, no. Oh God.
Okay, we have to kill this person and this person now to make sure we act appropriately aggressively.
Yeah. It was the fallout from that. But I was just so upset because, like, it's like she got me so excited. Like, yes, he's proving himself. This is great. Only kill him 2 seconds later.
Oh, and like near the end, also when she had that line at the end of one chapter where things are like coming to a close, and then you realize, oh shit, Aitmata's still doing things.
Oh,
like
God.
Things are still happening.
I swear to God. So
she
Shay
was laughing at us when she wrote that line.
She really was.
Yes, she was.
Like, just really was. I can't in this book with Shay. Let's talk about that for a second. Because the whole stupid Wound Poppy.
Well, no, Wound Poppy's great. We can't get on Wound's case.
Yeah, no, not him, but like the thing with him. Her thing with him. I was like, you're so annoying. You are like a 15-year-old, like, just playing with people, and you're like, grow up, lady. Like, oh my God, I was so irritated. It was just like dumb. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You had all this time where you could have done something, and then when you shouldn't, now you're like, actually maybe I do want to. Like, you're so stupid. Oh, I was so irritated. And when they like went and got together, I was like, I hate this. Like, I am not a fan of them to get like, ugh. Yeah. When that chick was like F off and die, I was like, ah!
I highlighted that part. I was like, oh.
So hilarious. I was like, yeah.
That was great.
Not mad at you.
Pause to actually say that to Shay.
Yeah. She
was well within her rights.
Yeah.
Well within.
It's like, you need to do something because I'm feeling horrible. And like, I love that whole thing. Because I was also very like, Shay, why are you so bad with men? Like, I think so. Jess hasn't finished it, but has started reading it and got to that point. And Deshawn and I have been listening. And I'm just like, I just can't believe you're the weatherman. You're reading the clouds, but you can't like figure out your love life. You can't like suss out this whole situation.
Yeah. And that this is not good.
That would be the thing to cause more tension within the clan. I thought that would get out more than it did.
Yeah.
Relationship. And like,
I bet if she didn't do what Hilo said, it could have been bad, but she just did.
Yeah. I was very, very irritated with that. And then when she finds Ait all injured initially I was like, okay, I guess I get it. Like, if you think Hilo's dead, and then if it's gonna be chaos in the streets, you need one, leader, fine. But then when Andon is there and they realize like, oh wait, Hilo's alive, like, kill her right now, stab her.
That whole scene, I was like, there's got to be some death. There's got to be some death. And then none of them died in that scene. I was like,
yeah.
It was so tense. I was happy because wouldn't it only have worked out if Andon had killed Aitmata? Like, it would have had to have been Andon who did it. Like, I wanted Shay to do it, but I think it was set up. I can't remember the details where it would have had to have been Andon in that moment.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I didn't want Andon to have to do it.
I just wanted somebody to do it. God. And I'm annoyed. Like, that was one thing, too, the ending. I was surprisingly, we all know, because I was like, if Barrow doesn't effing die,
I told you he wouldn't.
Fondly.
We knew
And he
Barrow
didn't.
wasn't gonna
But
die.
I actually, that final scene, I was kind of like, okay.
When I opened the book and saw the first chapter was Barrow,
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
Yep.
I know.
I was like, the thing is, I was like, I'm just imagining everyone's faces when they see that Barrow has the first chapter. I could just imagine Jess and like being like, how dare Barrow have the first chapter?
Jess was the one who was so upset with Barrow in the chat we had last.
I mean, we all
He's
hate him.
always there. He's like a little cockroach. But yeah, the ending, I was kind of like, I was mad when wasn't it Nico? Yeah, that where he told him, like, I killed your dad. And I'm like, kill him! But then he was like, I don't care. I'm not gonna be.
Nico's always been so chill, even from a kid. Hilo tells him he killed his mom, and Nico just gets ice cream.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a pacifist.
Or was it fried dough? I don't know. There was a treat involved.
Yeah, it was
something. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of annoyed with that because I'm like, but then again, I'm like, all right, I get it. He's like being a pacifist and not letting this like define his life. Cool. But yeah, but then by the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm all right with Barrow being here. And like that final scene just felt like I was watching a movie. I don't know what it was.
I mean, this obviously feels like it's very cinematic. She even references the Fast and Furious franchise.
I know.
Yeah.
I love it.
I loved it. It was, I love the whole thing. I expected way more people to die at the end.
Yeah.
I was prepared, like full out.
Yeah, I mean, I was prepared when there was that bomb scene. I was like, well, someone's going to have to die.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very tense. I was like, I'm tense. Someone's going to die. And then no one really died from that bomb scene. I was like, how did they all survive the bomb?
Well, it's because they were training with that dude. It made sense.
I guess.
It was explained. I was happy with it. I think the one weakness, though, that I've noticed, basically because other people are chatting about it in my Discord, not because I noticed it while reading it, which is why it doesn't affect my rating, is it is stuff with Barrow and the people who are not Greenbones. Has always been this discussion of these people wanting to rebel and having, you know, a say, a place in the society / government, you know, like having power. And like, they are just shown to be such like, they're not put together. They're not organized. They're basically just like, like they're the butt of the joke, or like you're just using them for plot at different points. And like you said, the whole point of the trilogy is just to follow these very powerful family members. But it is something that I thought wasn't handled as well as her other world building and thematic stuff.
Yeah.
Because who was it that said, I feel like in the predictions video, we said that in another fantasy world, you would be following Barrow and you would be rooting for them and they sort of like overthrowing these ruling families that have ruled for many, many years and have created so much havoc for society. But we never see them as, we never see Barrow and the people that he's with as the good guys.
No, they never seem competent. They never feel heroic. I don't know. They always feel like cockroaches, like what Jashana said. Like, we're never like made to root for them or feel sympathetic even.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think she did a good job with that, though, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's just a Greenbone world. They're just living in it type of situation.
Yeah.
So
it's very true. I was annoyed that Aitmata didn't die in the end. I'm like, seriously? We're just going to let her go live off in exile? Is this a good idea? Like, I just, and I felt like it didn't, honestly, like, that was one, I think that's why it bothered me. Like, Barrow not dying, I'm like, it makes sense. And, like, his life ended up just being kind of whatever it was. And he was just alone and kind of miserable. And so I was like, sucks to suck, Barrow. So I was, like, fine with that. But, like, Mata, I'm like, I feel like it wasn't satisfying. And I feel like it didn't make sense that they would let her live. After all this and all this, like, vengeance and, like, you're gonna get yours and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't want her to die.
Hilo was still alive.
Yeah,
he would have done it, but Hilo was the only one who would have had that passion for it. Like, it's not part of Shay, it's not part of Andon, it's not part of Nico.
Yeah, exactly. And like the fact that she still has, I think the fact she has to live with that is like worse than death for her. So I think
she literally has no power anymore.
Just no power.
She's just old.
Yeah, she's just old. She's old, and
I think death is worse.
I think you and Aitmata aren't the same.
I think she should have died. Because, like, I mean, I get that, like, the rest of them weren't as, like, vengeful as Hilo. But, like, Andon, at least, I think, because she's why Hilo died. Like, it was her little plot. So I feel like at least Andon would have been like, yeah, no, F you. Like, I'm going to kill you.
Andon's just he's a healer.
I know, but she's
it's not
also
part of his psyche.
Like,
he already saved her once.
Also, a lot of these characters have lost people, and they've already felt so much loss that I don't know, I think they just feel like more loss doesn't, like, undo what they've lost. You know, Shay's lost Hilo and Lon, Andon's lost his parents and Hilo and Lon, and, like, I don't know, it just...
The violence.
I just feel like Aitmata is a cockroach as well that could come back, even though she's old and exiled and blah. I'm like,
well, yeah, but has Shay ever made good decisions? We've discussed, like,
yeah, that's true, and she has not. God, freaking Shay. Yeah, we had we had wanting to see Andon happy in love, and we got that. Yay, that was awesome. I'm very, very, very glad that we got that. I'm like, this kid doesn't need more.
He's not even a kid anymore. He's older than me.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he doesn't need more terrible stuff. Oh, I wrote wanting Barrow to die.
He's still a kid in a way because he started off as a kid in the book one.
Yeah, so I'm just saying he's like mid to late 30s now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I had talking about Barrow, wondering if Barrow would be the people's hero by the end.
No,
he was not.
No.
He was not.
The closest we got to any sort of resolution there is that Andon is with one of the indigenous people who doesn't have power, and because of Rue, Hilo, and Wen were doing more philanthropy to helping normal people.
Yeah,
that's the most we had, and I guess now we don't have a clan war. Like that's
we were suspecting a Romeo and Juliet romance between Ait's nephew and Hilo's daughter, which that did not happen.
It almost happened with Nico. Not really, but like if it had, I would have believed.
It could have. Yeah, it could have. We had maybe Wen dies and Hilo goes ballistic. I was very annoyed with Hilo at the beginning when he was being.
But it's part of Hilo. Like that made complete sense.
Yeah, it made sense, but it was still like, dude, she died and was brought back. Like, suck it up and stop being mad at her. Like,
okay, I could understand him being mad at her, but I was like, why is he going to these brothels and like cheating on her? Like,
yeah,
because he obviously loves her. Like that part of it, I was like, he loves her. He wants to protect her. He's so angry with her because of her choices. But why is he doing that? Because he obviously loves her.
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
I don't know. I think it's just because, and this is part of how extreme Hilo is and why it took me so long to like him, because he's such a human of extremes. It's just like she betrayed his trust, and it was a big enough betrayal that it was just like, to him, it was the equivalent on if she had cheated on him. Like, that's his thing.
But she died. Like, doesn't that negate that? And like, okay, I was mad.
Hilo's not a rational creature.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad he came around like pretty quickly.
Well, like, not really. It felt quick in the book, but
well,
it was
that's what I mean.
Many years.
Yeah, in the book, it was. I didn't have to suffer through it very long, so that's why.
Well, I think also there was a point made that they also weren't able to heal faster because they weren't able to do what they normally do when they fight, because Wen was so weak. They couldn't just have it out and fight, and like their normal avenues of communication through touch were way weaker. So like a lot of their normal coping tools for communication weren't on the table because Hilo still was worried about her, so didn't want to be too violent or harsh or yell at her. It was just a lot of like the silent treatment and like being distant. And because Wen kept thinking that the whole book at the beginning, right? Like, if we could just have it out and talk, we could start working towards healing.
Yeah.
And it took them forever to get there.
Yeah, it was.
I appreciated seeing the journey that Wen went through to like heal, and that it wasn't quick or easy, that it took like the whole book pretty much in some ways.
Well, and she's forever disabled. Like, it's not like we had a magical fix.
Yeah, where she's like back 100% or whatever. Yeah, I'm glad that was resolved in the book fairly quickly, though.
Oh yeah, and she became the pillar.
Great.
So great. I love that.
It was so good.
Man, when Hilo that was another. So Rue, that scene made me like full on cry. I was like just crying.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, I know Hilo's gonna die. I don't know how he's gonna die, but like I know I'm coming out of this book with Hilo being dead.
Yeah.
And then when that scene was happening and it like the build up again, I was like, something's off, something's up. This isn't right. Like, I don't like it. I don't like any of this. And then, somebody shoots him. I was like, yeah, there we go. And when it initially happened, I didn't like freak out. I think because I just kind of felt it, like something is about to happen and I know Hilo's going to die. So I wasn't like shocked when he initially like got shot and I wasn't like crying about that. I was like,
brought him home.
But yeah, then when they brought him home and when he talked to Shay and he said, is there anything you want me to tell Lan? I was like,
I started bawling after that.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jaya didn't get home in time.
Oh, I know.
That hurt.
Jaya's, I would take a novella on Jaya. I would take that.
I would actually take a novella on the kids. I loved all the family moments especially between Hilo and Nico and the moments we did get between Nico and Jaya. But I would just love to get them in a room together. Just, I don't know.
The version of Thanksgiving, whatever their version is. Like they've had a couple holidays, but I just like want it longer. Whatever horrible novella Sarah J. Maas wrote for the Christmas episode, I want the Greenbone version.
Oh God. Yeah, that would be great. That wowould be really, really great.
Jade Holiday.
Jade Holiday. There we go. That would be awesome. Yeah, because they were, Jaya was like a little Hilo, like a little female Hilo. And
she was ready.
She was great. That whole scene, her thing. Who was I can't remember the guy's name now that she got at that bar or whatever.
That was like a whole plot arc that I understood while I was reading it, but has not stayed with me.
Yeah. I just remember she like, backstabbed or whatever that guy and like tricked him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there was this whole region that at the beginning, and this is with like when Poppy stopped, that started like a little mini civil war in this region, and we were finishing that up somehow.
Yeah, she was like getting that all taken care of on Hilo's orders. Yeah, that was cool though. I was like, I want more of her. She's a little badass, Oh, we had something about if bioengineered Jade will it stop working or will it end up the same as natural Jade? That was kind of, I can't remember, man. Sometimes all the like politics and all that, the Jade and the manufacturing and blah, I lose the plot occasionally and it does not stick in my brain at all. But there was something with that, right? With like,
we had like the new SM2 that was less addictive. That was the closest we had, is that we had a safer way to make Jade less addictive to people who used it. We definitely had conversation on using it, especially with Nico and when he joined I don't remember what the equivalent is in our world, but definitely went to do some like not great stuff in the equivalent of their like Southeast Asia or Russia or something.
Yeah, he was doing like mercenary crap.
Yeah,
that was interesting. But
I think the conversation was less about the common man getting Jade and more about what is Jade without the moral code of the Greenbones. I think that was the bigger theme.
Yeah, like it just becomes wild or whatever. Oh, one of our theories was right of starting with a Barrow chapter.
Yeah. Once you pick a narrative structure, you don't stop.
Yeah, I guess. God, I still hate him so much, man.
As we should. He was killed like Lon. This series would be so different if Lon was not killed by Barrow.
Yeah. Like how? Yeah.
I can't even picture the series with Lan still alive.
The Mountain would win. Lon would have.
He would be too passive, and he would be in the background like, we got to take him out.
Yeah, probably. That would be interesting, though.
I mean, I don't think that the No Peak clan would be gone, but it would be a merger.
Yeah, it would have been a merger for sure. For sure. Oh yeah, we had that as our last prediction that the clans would be like merged together.
Which kind of happened, but it more just that everyone dissolved and No Peak was the only one left.
Yeah, everyone else was just like, all right, we give up. We're tired.
And poor Nico, who never wanted this, is just stuck holding the bag.
Yeah. Man, that final scene though, because it doesn't say that it's Barrow, but I'm like, wait a minute, this is totally Barrow right now. And then when Andon's like gets out of the twice lucky and is like, when I party with my family, I was like, the twice lucky. Oh yeah,
it felt very like circular in a way from where it started to where it ended.
Yeah, it definitely did. Very much so. It was so sweet. When I got the Illumicrate and it had the little plates and they're like twice lucky like plates. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but they're so cute. It's twice lucky.
Just like get the little like plate holders, you know, like the little stands, and put them on your bookshelf, and like buy your Greenbone books.
I have them on my bookshelf, and I put my magnetic bookmarks in there.
Nice.
So I just use it for that.
So there you are with your fancy editions, and here I am with my 3 not matching at all editions.
That's very true. Your editions are all
UK
over.
paperback for the first one, a hardback for the second one, and a small paperback for the third one.
That's funny. I need to get I have those Illumicrate ones, but then I just have the paperbacks for the first 2, so I'm waiting for the third one. But I hope I get the right copy, like I didn't with the friggin' Crescent City, where I got the second one.
It should be okay if you order from like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
was annoyed when
US
I first
definitely has it out, because I'm sure the paperback that's out now is the UK one.
Yeah, no, the US one won't be out for a while. But when I ordered mine, because I was reading the first book and I was like, oh, I need all these in hardback, so I ordered Jade City and Jade War, because that was all that was out. And one had the glossy dust jacket and one had the matte dust jacket. And honestly, actually, the day after, Fondly actually tweeted about how she didn't know this was happening and she was so sorry and wanted people to know. And then once they had the new glossy ones, I spent full money to get the glossy. Because
I'm going to buy a US hardback, so at least things will look a little bit better, especially as the Jade Legacy paperback is destroyed. Like, I was on holiday when I was reading it, and it's just like completely falling apart.
No, they're good size hardback fantasy too. They're not too big. Like they're pretty big, but like once you get to like 750, 800, that I'm like, I can't read a hardback anymore. It's too many pages.
It's way too big. Way too big. Yeah, I don't know. This series, like, it's weird because like the first time I read Jade City too, I was like, I liked it. It was cool. But I wasn't like in love with it. And then I really loved Jade War. And when I reread Jade City, I liked it better upon reread.
What
like as a whole, I'm like,
what would be your ranking of the series?
The whole series? Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing because like her writing style, like her authorial voice doesn't like really do anything for me, right? Like it's not like, oh, I just love the sentences she writes. I'm not like, oh, they're so great. And like a lot of the politics stuff, I'm just like, I need a visual, I need a graph. Like I need to make a chart, because who's trading with who, and now you're taxing this who. Like
I just kept comparing it to real world like Cold War history.
Yeah, but I don't know that like that. So it's like
that's just what I did. I didn't try to understand.
But so like there's elements of the series that like aren't, that I didn't like dislike, but just are like not my favorite. But God, just she writes these like emotional moments so well. I think that like there's just so many moments from this series that just live in my brain forever, like are just stuck in my brain of like, I remember the feeling I had when I read that, you know, where it's like just as a whole, it's just like very memorable.
Oh yeah. The scene in book 2 when Shay offered Mata a clean blade, that will live in my head rent free for the rest of my life. I was so anxious reading that whole scene.
It was
I don't know if it's controversial, but Jade War I think is my favorite of the 3.
I think it might be mine too.
It's
because
not
that scene and the whole like ending scene with Andon and Wen, and
yeah,
that was very dramatic for me. And like that had me like shouting at the book. And
yeah, absolutely.
I think my order is Jade Legacy, Jade City, Jade War, but it's comparing a bunch of 4.5 to 5-star books to each other. So,
yeah,
you know, like,
yeah,
all very close, very very close. Yeah, I thought it was a really good like conclusion though. This one was, even though like I said, I had some personal preference issues with like how the pacing was or whatever, but I don't know. I just thought it was like a very well-rounded conclusion, even though I wish Mata would have gotten freaking shanked, but whatever.
In terms of the pacing in this one, because I love Jade War, I do think Jade War would be my favorite of the trilogy, but in Jade Legacy, when they start getting more into like the south of Vespenia and all the business that they had there in Jade Legacy, that's where I was kind of like, okay, like what are we doing down here? the pacing is getting a little off when you keep going back to Aspenia. So they were kind of not.
But then they were kidnapped.
But then they were right.
Yeah.
No, was that Shotar though? When they were kidnapped, that was Shotar. I did like when they tried to expand there, but when they tried to get I don't know some.
Oh yeah, there was like one of the new like mafia things.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, the spending stuff is my least favorite, which is why I'm shocked you guys love Jade War so much. That's like 50% of Spenia.
That's because I love Andon. I love seeing like Andon.
Yeah, it was Andon.
Yeah, but like she does that thing with the pacing with Andon, where I don't get to see him form the relationship with anyone. I just get the start, and then we've been together for 5 months. Like,
yeah.
I didn't get to ever watch Andon go through these transitions. I just got to see the before and after transitions, which is what she does a lot in Jade Legacy. So I was just very used to it from Jade War.
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot about the Shotar.
The kidnapping, that was a lot.
That was
I was so nervous for Shay when I was reading that. I was like,
that's when I thought Shay would die. I was like, okay, do I have to prepare myself?
I thought we would lose more than just. I mean, we lost Rue, but as far as like the original crew, I thought we were gonna lose also Shay or Wen or Andon. Like I thought more than just Hilo.
I was very prepared for Hilo to die.
We still had really permanent consequences. Like for me, I guess I don't need there to be like death for stakes to be really high. I mean, the fact that Shay can never hold Jade again, and like at the end forces herself to hold Jade to be with Hilo before he dies, made that scene just like so much more. And like I don't know, and like when, like we said, is always going to be like disabled and already had her thing as being like a stone eye and stuff. So I don't know.
I wasn't like mad about it, but I guess I just expected. I was like, there's gonna be so much death.
when Hilo was still living towards the end of the book, I was like, why is Hilo not why is he not dead yet? But like, where's the death? Where's the death? And then I was like, oh, here's the death.
Yeah. We knew he wasn't gonna make it out.
Like, why is Hilo still alive on page 700?
Like, we know he's not gonna come out of this book alive. He was just too, like you said, Angela, he's too like extreme and like just.
And even he recognized, like when he was sacrificing himself in that scene, is like this new world we're transitioning into. Like I could maybe exist in it, but it's not built for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like. I'm part of this vengeance of blood, and we need to like move on from that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the like flashback to Lan? We haven't talked about that yet, but we had like because we never could see Hilo in his prime again, so we did that by going into a flashback.
I actually really love that scene when they were when they were talking about marrying Shay off to someone in the mountain and Hilo went to go fight. Oh, I loved it.
How he got his first round of Jade, like the first major amount. I was like,
that is perfect Hilo right there. He's like pretending to be drunk at the bar.
He's so young.
So young.
Yeah, we never got to see him we never really got to see him go like full.
I mean, Jade City a little bit.
A little bit, but not like, I just kept waiting for it, I guess. Like in Jade War and in this one, I just kept waiting for Hilo to like lose his mind and just go ham. Didn't really happen, but I mean, it was fine. He was trying to like keep himself in check or whatever, you know.
Well, I think like he's someone who's very passionate and extreme, but I think that meant that we were putting our ideals of that means he has to be a powder keg that's about to explode. But I don't think that's actually how he expresses his extreme stuff. Like with Wen, when he was obviously, I don't think he's ever been angrier at someone than he was at Wen. He did not explode, but he did react very strongly and in ways we didn't agree with. Like, I don't know.
It was interesting. Do we think she will write more in this world at all? Like even like a novella or something, or no? I mean, there's the one that's coming out. But
when's that coming out? That novella?
April, next month.
Do we think there's going to be more?
Like I've heard that she's not going to be writing much more in this world, at least for the time being. That she's moving on.
I think it's one of those things. If you want more, you have to join her Patreon. And when she did an interview that I saw, I think it's one of those things where like you take a break for a while, and maybe if there's ever a story, I think that's what she said, is like if there was ever a story she wanted to tell in this world, she'd tell it. But currently, with this cast of characters, with this part of the world, she's told the story she wanted to tell.
Gotcha.
That's what I saw.
We were talking about it earlier. I don't want to see anything else from this world. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we've all been like, it's the people we've really cared about. Like, if I think too hard about the politics and the other stuff, like, that's fine. It's not done poorly, but that is not why I kept picking
Yeah.
up the book.
Yeah, we're not reading it like
Jaya
show
being
politics.
yeah. No.
I
I would
wonder what she's
definitely
going to go to next, because she's written middle grade or YA.
I think it was YA, but I'm not positive.
For this,
I know Tammy DNF'd it, so I don't know if it's up to snuff.
what was it called? I didn't know.
Farmville's website has it.
I didn't even know this.
I mean, I don't know if you'd like it.
Oh, is it the Zero Boxer
Yeah.
thing or Exo? Exo?
Yeah, that's it.
Science
the
fiction?
Exo Duology and Zero Boxer are the other ones.
Gotcha.
Exo and Crossfire, those are the ones.
Gotcha.
I don't know what age group. They're suitable for ages 14 and up, but it doesn't say if it's directly YA or not. It just has like a normal movie rating on her website.
What's the novella that's coming out? It's like
before Jade City.
Way before, right?
No, it's like 10 or 20 years.
Okay.
And it's not, I mean, I think we might see some of our characters, but it's following, I haven't read it yet, but I believe it's following a character who sets Jade into jewelry.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like that whole job. Like that's why it's the Jade setter of John Liu.
Curious.
And I think it might be more of your classic urban noir mystery situation. Like the plot, the small plot is something weird's happening, something's out of the normal, and our main character is part of figuring it out.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it's a murder or not, but I think that's the vibes I've gotten.
Interesting.
But yeah, I wonder where she's going to go next.
Yeah, what she's going to write next. Yeah.
I'm excited though. Whatever it is.
Stick with adult.
Yeah, because I'm like Deshauna, I actually really like her writing. I thought her writing was really tight and serviceable and engaging for me. Like I wouldn't say it was beautiful, but like it was very skilled. Like you could tell this wasn't her first series she wrote.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel like it was skilled. I just like the authorial voice, I guess. Like that's what
Untethered Sky. That's the next Fonda Lee.
Oh.
A standalone fantasy novella about the legendary rocks of myth and the elite trainers who fly them. Will be released by Tor.com in early 2023.
I heard rocks first as in like stones, and then I was like, oh, rocks as in like the mythical like birds.
Yep. I remember hearing about that on Twitter. So it's a novella that's been written. So
cute. Yeah, she just doesn't have like an authorial voice, I guess, that like is memorable to me of like, oh, I just love how she writes things. But yeah, it is very like, I don't know.
I feel like
I don't know. It's got a very good cadence.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like I feel as though she. I mean, I don't know the way she writes, but it seems to me as though she has a plan.
Yeah,
through
very
all of
like
books. Like she knows the direction it's going, and she knows roughly where it's going to end up.
I
may have like put that into. That's my feelings on it. It's like some books you read and you're like, do they really know where they're going? Like,
and sometimes they
direction. They don't have. Feels like there's a direction and a plan.
Yeah.
I also just felt like, because I've read some books that have had simple direct prose recently, which I think these are pretty direct prose, that have been so bad at their cadence, like too many short sentences next to each other. And like, I don't know, I never noticed how skilled that is until I see it done so wrong.
So poorly.
And it's like, oh, you made this so easy for me to consume, and it could have really flowed so poorly. And like, I'm bad at action scenes, and I thought her fight scenes were really fun to read.
Yeah. The freaking helicopter when Hilo
goes, I forgot about that.
I was like, again, I'm like watching a movie in my brain with this scene right now.
And like, not everyone can do that. Some people are too descriptive, and then you're just trying to paint the picture because they've given you so many markers, and then some people don't give you enough markers.
One of you guys' faves, that's how I feel about how he writes action scenes.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm usually pretty bad at liking action scenes.
Brando Sando. Oh my God.
Well, you've only read Mistborn, and I don't like his action scenes in Mistborn.
Oh God, it's like I jumped 90 degrees this way and turned left.
Yeah, no, I don't like the action scenes.
15 degrees and went down 5 feet and like, man, shut up.
First of all, for anyone who hasn't read Mistborn, that is not what happens, but it is not.
It's not literally. In my brain, that's how it reads. Where I'm like, I don't need this many. I don't need to know the movement of every muscle.
Well, I don't know why you like Malice by John Gwen so much. His action scenes were not fun.
But by the end, Wrath? Oh, come on.
So I have to read how many thousand more pages?
I liked Malice too, though. I know a lot of people don't like Malice, and I wouldn't tell anyone to push through if you didn't like Malice.
Well, that was another example for me of like, it wasn't bad writing, but it was an example of, oh, this is what happens when like simple direct writing is not edited appropriately. That's what happened in my brain. I'm like, why am I noticing the writing? I never notice writing. This is not who I am as a reader.
I think you can really see that he grows, though. I mean, it's different. Like, you can see how his writing style has improved through his books.
True, but I just get mad when books like that become so popular, and then other books that come out in 2010 by like Jemison don't become popular, and they're beautifully written and didn't need to grow. They were there.
Which one are we talking about?
This is not about Malice. Sorry.
That I haven't read. I was like, which Jemison are we talking about? Because I haven't read all of them.
It's one that you liked but didn't love, which is fair. It's Killing Moon.
And then I DNF'd the Shadows.
Which is fair. Like, I understand because she does have a strong authorial voice. So if you do not get on with it, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I did not. But yeah, I definitely look forward to like what else Fondly does, because like, yeah, it's like weird to me that I like this series as much as I do because of the reasons I said, where it's like the writing style doesn't like do anything for me. It's good, like it's skilled, it's not bad, but it's not like I just love how she writes these things. Yeah. And like some of the politics and stuff going on, I'm like, sure, whatever. Yeah.
When I read Jade City, I was like, well, I loved it, but I don't know why I liked it so much. Like, why do I like this book? Like,
because it makes you really care. Because like you feel like you're in it with these characters. Like, I'm here, I'm with you. Like, we're doing the thing.
It makes me really hopeful that if either of you ever do try Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, you'll like it, because I understand why you guys don't like Farseer, because it's really not like
so boring.
It's fine. Don't tell the Hobb fans. It's fine. But Ship of Magic is that like family drama. Like, you're in it for the family. And but it's just
I'm suspicious. We're getting off on a whole thing, but because it's about like ships and
not really. It's about a family who owns a ship, and it's about like how does that get passed down and how it goes wrong.
Seafaring?
It's really not about those things, though. It's about family, and it's about how a town itself, like John Loon is Bingtown. It's very similar.
I'll read it, Angela. I picked it up because of you.
I'm just saying, like, and also it's the one time I could correctly predict that Leanna would like a book is because she likes Ship of Magic. I'm like, I think you'll like Jade City, and I was correct.
I know, I'm shocked. I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, we have another book that we both like.
I own
like 10 of them.
It's over there somewhere. It's like on the bottom shelf.
I'm just saying that like a lot of the stuff with Farseer that like people get annoyed about is mostly Fitz centered and pacing centered, and that doesn't exist in Live Ship because Fitz is not there.
I'm just gonna skip the rest of the Farseer then, because I only read the first one. I was bored out of my mind.
Literally, there's only a spoiler if you care about the entire realm of the Elderlings, and even then, it's barely a spoiler. It's like one of those Easter eggs that if you're like really into the world building, you see it. Like it's one of those. So it's one of those things where if you're invested, I say yes, read Farseer than Live Ship. But if you just want a story, you can just consume Live Ship.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because I didn't love Assassin's Apprentice, I'm going to read Live Ship. If I like it, then I'll go back.
I won't.
If I don't like it, then
but I won't.
But back on like Greenbone. Greenbone. Well, Greenbone, but adjacent. Have any of you seen Succession? Because
of that show.
I've been watching it this year. We're now up to date, unfortunately. But like the similarities.
Yes.
Similarities. I mean, there's no like magic, but like the family drama and like the family tensions and this family is I get the same vibes.
Oh yeah. This Succession is like corporate Game of Thrones or something. It's a hot mess. But
I don't know if I would like that, which is weird because I like the green book.
I feel like it's got the same sort of pacing.
I feel like you would like Succession, Shoshana. I don't know why.
I think because it also reminds me of Peaky Blinders, which I do really like. I need to finish the 5th season, but like I really like that. I think the like corporate like businessy stuff, I don't care about.
But I think you would care about the characters and not care about that because like
family.
Especially because you like A Song of Ice and Fire, which I know is like not the same as like a contemporary drama, but like
it's about the family and their dynamics and how I see so many similarities between the characters, and I'm like,
the sibling dynamics in Succession are off the charts. So
maybe I'll try it someday.
Just watch it.
I think because when I think of it, it makes me think of which I know isn't a family thing, and I've seen the first 2 seasons of it and I didn't like it. Billions. I'm just like, you're just like doing corporate-y, rich, greedy people stuff. I don't care. Like, it just irritates me. Versus like Peaky Blinders, where it's like gangsters doing gangster stuff and like the family, and I love that. And I think that's what I liked about the Green Book.
Yeah, they're not. There's no real like gangster. There's no like fighting scenes. Really, it is more.
Yeah, I like the gangstery stuff.
It's psychological at a certain point. Logan is getting into everybody's head in Succession. It's good.
Maybe someday.
Maybe
someday I'll try Succession.
If you're missing Greenbone, I think you should watch Succession because I really think they're a good pairing.
Yeah,
I might try it sometime.
I agree with that.
I'll just keep rewatching all my sitcoms in the meantime.
Just watch.
I don't watch a lot of dramas. Like I don't get into a lot of like super dramatic TV shows that often. Like every now and then I do. Obviously, I mean I love Game of Thrones, but like yeah, usually I'm just like rewatching Will and Grace. Like,
Will and
How I Met Your Mother. Too funny. Nice. But maybe I'll check it out sometime. But yeah, I'm surprised. I'm like surprised that I never made the connection before for Leanna with Peaky Blinders and Greenbone, because I know she loves Peaky Blinders because I started watching it and I would like be messaging her all the time like, oh my god, this just happened, and she's like, yes, I can't wait for you to like get to this part. And I'm like hello, it's like very similar vibes and like, you know, thing happening.
But it doesn't
here.
always matter, because if there is something that's on her list of things that annoys her while she reads that we can't predict and it happens,
yeah, that's it.
Something that she's just like sticking in her craw that I'm like, I didn't even notice that. That happens to me with Elle and I also, where like there'll be a book that I'm just like, oh, I love this, and we don't often have ones that we like she hates and I love, but it'll be one that like she loves and I'm like, I mean, I guess it was fine. Like Fireborn, where I was like, but this thing really annoyed me about it. And then with her, with Jade City, there was like something that really annoyed her that I'm like, that didn't even bother me. Like just things that stick in our craw that like the other person's like, I didn't even pay attention to that while I was reading it. It's always interesting.
Well, like I would have guessed that Bethany would have liked this enough to finish the series, but she really doesn't like the first book. So
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of people who choose not to finish the series really like don't have fun in this very patriarchal world. Like it's because it's pretty aggressively patriarchal. We have some female characters that are pretty awesome, but it's generally a boys' club.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure. It for sure is. Yeah, which makes sense. If you didn't have a good time, then yeah.
Especially because like some people I think who love Shay at the beginning of Jade City do not like that she suddenly does don her green, which we all were just like, yes.
Yeah.
Get the green from the bank. Go defend the family.
Like, put that choker on.
I love Shay so much. I know we were talking about in the beginning when she got with Wound Poppy, but when you love a character so much, you start defending, like, not defending, but you start like
justifying
bad decisions. I was in the corner like, Shay, do what you got to do.
I mean, I'm imagining Jess here just defending Hilo for like everything that he has ever done.
Yeah,
I love Shay. She's one of my favorite just fantasy characters in the last several years. So
I also loved how they handled their daughter. We haven't talked about that part of the Next Generation.
Oh yeah,
like, his kid, like how she could not have been a violent Greenbone. That's just really not a part of her personality at all.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
I love that. And she was picking her up from school, and like she's just so cute and artsy.
Yeah.
Like this is how it should be. This is
I think that's also why like Rue affected me so much too, is because I loved like how Hilo was about Rue. You know what I mean? Like his only son being a Stone Eye or whatever, and like I don't know, he was just like so good about it. I felt like, you know,
he was as good as he could have been. Like he was still a flawed parent, right? Because he obviously sheltered him a little too much, but at the same time, like at least didn't fall into the pitfalls of you're not the son I wanted because you're not a Greenbone. You know, like it wasn't that traditional, like stereotypical route. It
was still very like supportive and like want you to know you're important too, and like blah.
Got him
blah,
a dog.
Always,
yeah.
He was always like just really good about it, and I was like, yeah, this is great. So then,
Meanwhile, I don't love how they handled Nico.
Yeah, man, that conversation where he was just like, yeah, I killed your parent. I'm like, dude, what?
Not even just that, though, when Nico was like really not wanting to be trained to be the pillar of the clan, and how we were handling having him be you know, a fist or anything like that. And then when he did leave, like, he still loved him and still sent people to spy on him, because that's how Hilo shows his love.
Yeah.
But like the kind of cut him off from the family stuff, and then Wen wouldn't like forgive him for like ever. Because I mean, in some ways, Wen can be more extreme than Hilo in her loyalty and love.
I think she's less forgiving of things, for sure.
Like,
for
both
sure.
of them with Nico, I thought were really, really harsh on the oldest kid.
Yeah.
But
they were very harsh with him.
When Hilo showed up at the airport, though, before Nico left, just it's little moments like that. I was just like,
but it's only because Andon told Hilo what's up, and I was like, yes, Andon, this is what I needed.
Yeah, I loved seeing Andon.
I love it.
I loved seeing Andon kind of like just fully come into his own and fully be like, this is who I am, and I'm cool with that, and like just having more confidence and like talking to Hilo like that, and like kind of checking Hilo.
Yeah,
it's like, this is, you did this to me. It was uncool and immature as hell. I need you to not do that with your son.
Yeah.
It was
and
great.
He gave an ultimatum. He's like, listen, if you let him walk out this door and don't say anything, like, I'm gone too.
Yeah.
Then
I really like that.
Love that.
And then just like, he's so great. He's so great. I'm so glad he made it, because I was like, this poor kid. And I just love the integrity that he had. You know what I mean? Like, he just like, he was always like, we saw him initially being just kind of insecure and unsure of himself, and like, I just wanted to make the family happy, and then just being kind of like, nope, JK, I don't want to do this. And like, I just, even though there were times where I'm like, I want you to kill Ait, or like, I want you to gut this person or whatever, and it would have been like fun to see him like don Jade for battle again and like go kill somebody because he was like so powerful. It would have been like fun just because of the action, but like, I really like that he really stuck to his guns and like kept that integrity of like, no, I've made this decision, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I just really like
I mean, excellent character arc throughout the entire series. And I don't know, I feel like as a reader, you would, if all that time in Espenia when, you know, Hilo sent him there, you would expect him to come back home and maybe be bitter about it. And he kind of was for a minute, but he didn't let that affect his loyalty and his duty to the family. I loved Andon so much.
He was really good at balancing being an individual with helping the family, but not being a green bone. And then like with his powers, which he has so much of, and he doesn't have quite the tolerance, like how he had that control and how he built his own tolerance and how he channeled it literally into channeling and all that stuff. Like,
it was great. He had a really, really good character arc and just development. I'm so glad he did not die, because I would have been pissed. Like, I expected someone else to die, but I really think if it had been Andon, I would have been angry. Like, I would have been like, no, Fonda, absolutely not.
I was kind of glad he had kind of a chill book, because like the first two books were pretty Andon stress heavy, and I'm kind of glad that this book was kind of chill for him.
He got to just do his thing, like you said, help out when he needed to, and like in his own way. But then he got to have a romance that was delightful. I like how that was handled too with, I don't know.
The artist.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
And I do remember when we met him through Wen, and I'm like, so this is Andon's love interest, right?
She's setting it up. Yeah, that was precious. So glad he got a happy ending. Oh, that final scene, man, it just always so good. So good. I just like the fact that I truly, and I still do, hate Barrow. Just one of the absolute easiest to hate characters I think I've ever read, ever. Like, he's just a little sniveling cockroach biatch. Like, I just hate it. Every time he would pop up, I'm like I genuinely would feel like anger. Like, just, oh my God, I hate you. Yeah. And the fact that by the end of the book, I was like, okay with the fact that he didn't die and he's in that final scene, I was like, you know, props, Fonda. Props.
I mean, he's also going to die soon. He's like, he's not doing okay health-wise.
Yeah, he's not doing okay. That's the thing. I was like, he's miserable. He's very unhealthy and just like not doing great. Like, he's probably going to just die alone and like
Because I think he's the same age as Andon, maybe a little older than Andon, but I think they're similar age, and he looks like a 60-year-old man or something.
I'm like, how could they be the same age?
Yeah. He's had a rough life because of his own stupid choices. So, deuces, Barrow. But yeah, I was like, just the fact that I didn't hate that ending, I was like, you know what? Good job. That was a good job.
I also still like that Nico didn't kill him because that's what Lan didn't do too. I don't know. I just thought it made sense.
It was
Nico
very
is
like
Lan's son, even
like
without
father,
being
like
raised.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I still, man, it would have been so fun too, though, had Hilo been the one to like get that confession, because I feel like he would have killed him immediately, and that would have been fun. But again, I get it all happened how it happened, and I'm happy with how it ended. So
you're content.
I'm content. Yes, I'm content, which was surprising because I legit thought I was gonna like burn this book if Barrow didn't die. But
it was a great ending.
It was, yeah.
One of the best fantasy endings that I've read for a trilogy wrap up.
No, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I've read a lot of series that I've liked the endings, but very few were like, I feel like, yes, this was like a very good, like 10 out of 10 resolution wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hit the emotional, like fan service notes, but also had realistic consequences. Cause like, that's what you have to do with an ending, right? Yeah. It's like, you don't want to make people depressed. You want them to leave uplifted and happy, but also it's the Greenbone series. So people have to like, be put through the ringer.
Some bad things have to happen. Yeah, exactly. There has to be consequences. Yep. All right. Well, I guess we're almost at an hour here. So any final thoughts anyone wanted to share? I would say we were okay with some of our predictions and not so great with others. But I mean, how can you predict, right?
Well,
20 years of a world, what's going to happen in it?
Well, I think also for me, like, I think when we were doing the video, it was before I realized what Fonda's, like, mission of the series was. And I think if I had known the mission, I wouldn't have thought she would focus on, like, bigger world stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it really is so family focused. So the idea that we would look at societal change on a large scale just doesn't really make sense if we're following the family in power, per se. Like, if that was, like, the goal of it. So I think for me, some of those predictions there would have been fun, but we're not in the scope of the trilogy.
Yeah. That was great. I think one of the predictions, I forgot who said it, maybe Angela in our predictions video about Nico, if he learns the truth about what Hilo did to his mother, he would just kind of go.
Yeah, that didn't play out how I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought that might happen too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be fun if Nico killed Hilo. I mean, obviously that did not happen.
Yeah, he was.
They did have a contentious relationship, so we had that.
We did get that.
Yeah.
So
but it was less because he killed his dad, and more because he was kind of like struggling with Greenbone culture.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to forge his own path.
He wanted to have his own identity. Yeah.
Well, because like in his defense, the Greenbone culture lost him both his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the Greenbone culture has lost a lot of them. Like, and his parents as well. Like, a lot of their siblings. Like, for a lot of them, it's lost them family.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. We couldn't predict too much, but I think we did all right. We predicted a few things.
I mean, we predicted Barrow would be there at the end, so.
We did, unfortunately.
Much to my... No, I'm just kidding. What I thought would be much to my dismay, but it was actually okay. It was all right. All right, well, cool. Thank you guys for joining to follow up and chat about it. Yeah. I still can't wait for Jess and Vish to finish as well, so we can hear their thoughts somehow.
I'm surprised neither of them have finished it yet.
Yeah, right?
Like, how have you still not finished this book?
Well, I know Jess is just beyond stressed about it. Like, it's one of those things where, like, she just knows something bad's going to happen, and just, like, it's just this looming stress.
She got into, like, a little bit of a reading slump, too, like, right when she started it. So she's just kind of, like, not reading anything.
And I think
she was saying.
I think it was.
Well, you don't want to force yourself to read a book you want to love during a reading slump. We've all been there.
Yeah. No good. No good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very long book for a reading slump.
Yeah, it's not the book to get you out of unnecessarily. If you're,
I mean, it depends on the person, right? No one knows how to get out of a reading slump, but sometimes
it all depends.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everyone, for watching and letting us just kind of chit chat about a series we love. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.